I have one last example I want to go over of solving two-step equations, and I wanted to come up with one that had all fractions because why not? You never can get enough fractions or review fractions or just getting comfortable with dealing with fractions. All right, so here we got negative 1/4 times x plus 2/5 equals 9/10. So there's again a few different ways you could go about doing this as well. One thing that I'm probably going to want to deal with, we'll just work that. I'll give you my example, but there's ways you could deviate through it as well too. So let's just do the same process that we've been doing with solving our two-step equations. The first step is I want to get rid of whatever is being added or subtracted. I'm trying to isolate that x. Right now I have plus 2/5. So to get rid of that and start getting that x by itself, I need to subtract 2/5 from both sides. And here you can see we're going to come to work. So 2/5 minus 2/5, that's easy. That turns into 0. That cancels each other out. So I'm left with negative 1/4 times whatever x is. But now you can see on the right, I got some work to do. I got to figure out, well, what is 9/10 minus 2/5? So I got some fraction work. I can't add or subtract fractions until I get common denominators. But when I look at the 10 and the 5, I'm feeling pretty fortunate because it's easy to turn 2/5 into 4/10. Multiply the top and bottom by 2. So now my problem becomes, what is 9/10 minus 4/10? That's just 5/10. So when I simplify all down here, I've got negative 1/4 x equals 5/10. And I'm actually going to simplify my fraction. Why not? We've been working on that. 5/10 is the same as 1/2. Okay, now let's look at where I'm at in this problem. We've got negative 1/4 times x equals 1/2. I want to get rid of that negative 1/4. I want to multiply it by something that'll get rid of it. I can think of this as 1/4 as dividing by 4, so I know I'm going to multiply by 4. But I also got to get rid of that negative, so I'm going to multiply it by negative 4. And if I put it over 1, a whole number over 1, now I can see how my fraction multiplication is going to work out. On the top, I've got negative 4 times negative 1, which is going to turn into positive 4. And on the bottom, I've got 1 times 4, which is positive 4. I still got my little x hanging out there. But now 4 divided by 4 divides out into 1, leaving just my 1x by itself, which is what I want. I'm trying to solve for my unknown. That's the whole point of the algebra. But on the right side, if I multiply by negative 4, I've got to multiply the right side by negative 4 as well. So it's a fraction, so I'll keep it as a fraction. 1 times negative 4 is going to be negative 4 on top. 2 times 1 is 2 on the bottom. Negative 4 divided by negative 2. Sorry, negative 4 divided by positive 2 is going to end up being negative 2. There's my solution. Well, let's just check it out and make sure things shake out nicely. Does negative 1/4 times negative 2 plus 2/5, does that equal 9/10? All right. Well, negative 1/4 times negative 2, if I make my 2 over 1, so we get positive 2 over 4 plus 2 over 5 equals 9/10. I need to get common denominators here, so I'm going to make 4 and 5, I'm going to turn them both into 20ths. 2 over 4 is the same as 10 over 20. 2 over 5 is the same as 8 over 20. And does that equal 9/10? We're checking that out. Now I've got common denominators, so 10/20 plus 8/20 is 18. I can add the top numbers together, 18/20. And 18/20, if I divide the top by 2 and the bottom by 2, does reduce down to 9/10, so it checks. So x equals negative 2 is the solution. All right. Hopefully that was helpful. A good review of adding, subtracting fractions over here. A good review of adding, subtraction, fractions over there. Good review of multiplying. Lots of fraction review in this two-step equation problem.